The final season of My Hero Academia is on a generational run, and we have some confirmation about a My Hero Academia live action that is 100% happening. Welcome back, nerds, to the More Than a Cartoon podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Applesauce, joined today by my co-host, Kyle. Guys, I know there's some of y'all that watch or listen to every single episode. I know there's a few of y'all, and we're very grateful. And those of y'all that do that might have realized that we didn't put out an episode last week for the first time in 20 weeks. 21 weeks?
I think this is episode 22, 23, so that would be about 21 weeks.
Okay, so
that's a long stint, though.
In about 21 weeks, we missed an episode. And to be frank, basically both of us were sick at right around the same time. That kind of overlapped. And then I had to travel to a convention. It was just the perfect storm. It is what it is.
Yeah. It was good and bad at the same time, because I feel like it made us realize certain things. That, first off, last episode, actually, we should probably get in that before we go into what's currently. Last episode, certain things that messed up. It was technical errors. That's why you didn't get
difficulties.
You didn't get the shorts. You didn't get the different cuts. You didn't get the panning back and forth, each person talking. You didn't get the little fancy mechanics. All that stuff that we usually do, even like the shorts, the videos, the clips, all that. We couldn't do that.
Yeah,
that was very frustrating because we had technical issues. I did the best that I could, and hopefully you guys went easy on us, which it seemed to do pretty well, though. Even though it wasn't like our regular episode, it still did very well, and I honestly appreciate the feedback that we got on it. So thank you guys for that. That happened. Then after that, me and Will both got sick, and we're gonna kind of give you a little recap of what's happened. I guess the past 2 weeks, almost. I guess this will be about 2 weeks, and
it's been roughly about 2 weeks. Yeah.
I told Will before, first off, I love Will, because before we started recording this, he started messing up on the intro. And I love seeing that, because I always mess up, and having someone else do it, knowing that I'm not alone, because I have a speech impediment. For some reason, when the camera's on, I mess up. But for some reason, when talking to you, it doesn't happen as much.
Because we're just having a conversation. We're just
talking. My wife used to make fun of me. Sometimes she would be cooking. I would record in our living room back in the old days. And she would always say why are you even repeating yourself over and over again? I'm like, it's because I keep messing up. She doesn't understand. But
it's a funny thing. I'm self-conscious.
Yes.
I don't like recording with other people. I like to do it, but because I'll mess up all the time.
But you do interviews.
Well, but the interviews aren't highly polished or anything.
Yeah, You're talking about I'm just
jumping in and asking questions. And I do mess up in interviews. Sometimes I'll say I'll say a question wrong or something, and I have to kind of be oops, I'm sorry, I got to do that again.
Or mishear your name.
Once in a while, I'll have.
I saw that video. I'm sorry, I loved it. That was so good. I was like, he heard it wrong. It was when he was asking. I think it was the president one when he was asking, and I think you were hearing, or I think it was either a villain or a president one. I can't remember.
He said he would vote for Johan for president. I was like, oh, Gohan. He goes, no, Johan. I said, I was like, Johan. Yeah.
I was like, Gohan.
The dude said. I asked him, what anime character would you vote for president? And he said Johan. And I was like, oh, Gohan's a good answer. He goes, no, Johan from Monster. And I was like, the crazy guy?
Yeah, that was, I mean, that was baiting or something. I don't know. But let's get back on track, Kyle. Come on. You've been on for 2 weeks. Let's get back on track.
A lot has happened
yes.
in the anime world. The main topic of our conversation today will be the My Hero Academia final season and the My Hero Academia live action stuff that I just kind of did a deep dive and got receipts and found real information about stuff that's happening. So that'll be the main topic, but a brief catch up. One Punch Man season 3 is still garbage, and that's pretty much it. No.
Gosh, Will, please let it die. Just let it die. Okay. We were right. We proved you guys wrong. Just move on from it. All right. Everyone was complaining about this, and your post was perfect that you put when you saw, before when we announced it. People were saying, oh, it's not even out yet. You're just bashing on something that's not out. Then after episode 1 comes out, and then they said, oh, just give it time. They're building up. Then episode 2, 3, 4, 5, and if you see on the side of the picture of all these things that Will's listing right here, it's a person putting on clown paint. If you didn't understand that, you have the paint on right now, brother.
Yeah. And it's one of the things, and I'll just briefly mention this, and then we'll go to the next topic. But one of the things that I find the saddest about it is I'm very intentional with my words. So I'm very intentional. If I'm criticizing something, to
Okay.
criticize the anime or to criticize the topic and say, this is what I think about it. This is
Oh,
my
okay.
thoughts.
Yeah, I see where you're going.
I will recommend people to watch things all the time. I'll say, you should go watch this, but I'll never
Mhm.
tell somebody, don't watch this, or you're bad for enjoying this. And so I'm very
Mhm.
intentional with my words, and I
Mhm.
never say those things. And still, unfortunately, people glean from that, like, hey, just let people enjoy it. Don't tell us what to do. And I'm like, I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm
No.
giving my opinions. And if you're
Yes.
watching One Punch Man season 3 and loving it, then that's awesome. I wish I was like
How?
you.
How?
I wish I was able to watch it and enjoy it, right? And so that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
What else is going on in the
Well,
anime world?
aren't they trying to boycott it now, or
Yeah, because
was it Bondi or something like
well,
that?
the more that okay, I guess we're gonna go jump into this a little bit.
Yeah.
The more time that goes on, the more that's uncovered. So
Mhm.
One Punch Man is owned by the parent company Bondi, right?
Mhm.
Just like Blue Lock is owned by Bondi, and Blue Lock
Mhm.
season 2 went downhill, and One Punch
Mhm.
Man season 3 went downhill, and so now people are
Yep.
like, we got to boycott, Bandai and this, that, and the other. I saw the most interesting post today. Okay, I saw the most interesting, but this is a new. I'm going to coin this term. Okay, this is the new thing. You guys know what rage bait is, right? You
Oh,
know what
well,
rage bait is, but obviously
obviously.
for those of y'all watching, if you don't know what rage bait is, it's like saying something that will intentionally trigger people that
Mhm.
may be stretching the truth. That's maybe not exactly true, but it's just like intentionally saying something inflammatory to
Well,
trigger people and like get engagement, right? That's
it's
what rage
saying
bait is.
stuff that could be factual, could be false, anything like that. You just know it's going to cause engagement. You know it's going to stir issues. It's like
Right.
saying like, "Hey, I know this pin right here is blue, but I'm going to go up to somebody and say, "Hey, I know this pin's purple. I know this pin's purple." And
Just to engage people to comment and stuff. So that's
yeah.
what rage bait is. I saw something today that I'm going to coin hope baiting, a hope bait post.
Okay.
Somebody posted a straight up lie post about One Punch Man season 3,
Mhm.
saying that they're bringing animators from season 1 back in to finish season 3. And if you know anything about the
Mhm.
way that most anime works, like shows like Jujutsu Kaisen being an
Mhm.
exception, this stuff's already all done for the most part. They're not like animating it right now to release tomorrow, right? Like it's already like there's
Yeah.
already things set in stone, set in motion that maybe they're
Mhm.
having to finish things up, but like they're not like starting with the drawing board on having just released episode 5 and they're just
Mhm.
starting the whole process for episode 6. So
I think they can
the
go back and polish though.
they could go back
Maybe
and
a little more,
polish, but like
but still.
you're not they're not bringing animators from Madhouse to
Mhm.
JC staff,
No,
like,
yeah.
and so in this part just lying about all this stuff, they're saying that they're going to improve season 3. And it was really interesting because it was like it got a lot of engagement, but I was like, this is the opposite of rage bait. This
Mhm.
is hope bait. They're hope baiting people.
I mean, if it happens, that's good. I don't see it happening.
Mm-mm.
I can't intentionally see it happening. But people need to realize where this stems from, and this actually want to kind of tie into the next topic, sort of. What I want to talk about is that people don't realize that you see that the anime community is booming right now. I mean, it's you can ask Will. He's been in the dark days, dark ages, all that stuff. He's
Yeah.
been there. It's booming now. It is very popular.
Mhm.
The only problem though is that for some reason anime studios are going bankrupt.
That's so weird, right? Like
More and more.
because
They're projected even more this year to go
Mhm.
bankrupt, which I wonder why. If they're getting more funding, if you have more people watching, if people are just, yes, I know the pirate sites.
I
I
would
understand that.
assume
That could
it's
be, that's not the
because
big factor.
so say like let's just use, since we're going to talk about My Hero Academia, let's use My Hero
Yes.
Academia as an example.
Yes. Well, this
The,
stems into the next question. Well, next thing I want to say. Go ahead.
the studio that's animating My Hero Academia is Studio Bones, right? Studio
Mhm.
Bones animates My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
But
They do a good job.
Studio Bones doesn't own the rights to My Hero Academia, right? Or a better example,
Mhm.
Demon Slayer. Demon
Mhm.
Slayer was animated by Ufotable or Ufotable or however the frick Ufotable. Let's just say Ufotable. I can never remember. Whatever. Troll me in the comments. It's animated by Ufotable, right? But
Rage baiting right there, Will.
Ufotable doesn't own Demon Slayer.
Mhm.
Sony owns Demon Slayer, right?
Mhm. Right.
So when studios are going bankrupt, the studios aren't, as far as I have like been able to figure out in my
Mhm.
understanding, which could be wrong, the studios don't own the anime. The studios aren't making money based
Right.
upon how much the anime is generating. The studios are just getting paid. And then the parent company is the one who's making that money, is what my understanding is. So for like Demon Slayer that
Right.
made $800 million, well, Ufotable didn't make that money. Sony owns it. So Sony made the money. Or if there's some subsidiary under Sony that's like a company that's over, under Sony, but that's like making sure all this stuff happens for Demon Slayer. So the initial thought that I have when there's these reports coming out that anime studios are going bankrupt is that, well, even though anime is doing well, these parent companies are keeping all the money and these animation studios aren't making enough money. And so if that's the case, here's what they have to do. They have to start saying, no, we need more money. And they have to all start saying that, because if the big boys start saying, no, we need more money, and they're like, well, we're just going to go to the cheaper person, then you're going to have One Punch Man season 3 all over the place.
Will is pretty much just saying form a union. Everyone loves hearing those words, especially with big corporations. They love hearing unionization. But where I see it as, I think that's a good example, and that's a great point of putting that too. I love that, because it makes me think right now is that calling it a parent company is perfect, because you realize, I mean, it is like a parent. They control what happens to the children. Imagine the studio being the children, right?
Yeah.
If you have a kid, say, appropriate age, mowing the lawn, right? Well, parents are like, well, you live here, so you got to kind of like, make your dues almost.
Your payment is your allowance.
Yeah.
Right?
So
But
an allowance, like their chores.
Cutting the kid a salary check.
No, and the parents are benefiting off of this. The way I see it should be, and the right way to go about this, is kind of more of like a sports route. You have your coaches and you have your person who owns the team. Person who owns the team makes a lot of money, but they make sure to pay for the right coaches to make sure they can make more money. They can make sure there's seats in the stands,
or an incentivization to share profits with the studio.
You get. And then, which also benefits too when it comes down to, like, you get touchdowns, you win games, you win the Super Bowl, all that stuff. You get incentives, which I think that's a great idea they should do for it. But I don't see it happening. I really don't. Unionization seems like the only way it's going to go. I hate to see it, but the way it's happening is because people realize now, and it's sad to say this, but studios are expendable.
Yeah.
They know that if this person won't pay for X amount of dollars, this studio will.
Well, which is part of the problem, the speculation. I don't think it's been proven, but part of the speculated issue with I'm just going to keep using One Punch Man season 3 as an example, because it's an easy example to continue to beat. Like, I would assume that Bandai went with JC Staff because they were the lowest bidder.
Probably.
That's what I would assume.
Maybe is like, not that they're lowest bidder, but they know they could get a decent price for
the
decent quality,
option, the best price, whatever.
Yeah,
right?
Budget option. Budget option is the perfect way of saying it. I mean, that's capitalism, baby. That's how it works. The thing is, where also it will come down to this, because yes, the studios have a big say in this, but where it really does come down to is the viewers. We have a big say in a lot of this, and what ties into my next topic about this is that we control the outcome of how these studios, how these anime companies go about. Look at what's going on right now. Every single big anime that are pronouncing to have either another season or a movie, they're all going live action, which Will's going to talk about that. They either want to go live action, they want to do a movie instead of doing another season, and they want to go in theaters, because guess why? You have freaking Chainsaw Man, amazing. You have freaking Demon Slayer, amazing. You have those both doing very, very well. I mean, it's just proof.
You also
have
everyone's
Makoto
like, why? Shinkai, who just announced that he's working on another movie. Do you know who Makoto Shinkai is?
No.
So probably one of the best people that's put out the best anime movies ever, in my opinion. So none of them are action, but you've got Your Name, Weathering with You, and Suzume are probably the most 3 popular. And they're all phenomenal cinematographic works of art, great stories. Your Name is one of those movies. So, like, I love movies, right? I've watched so many movies. Every once in a while, it's probably happened maybe 5 to 10 times in my life, I'll watch a movie that sticks with me. Like, it impacts me in some, like, it touches something inside of my soul that just makes me think, either in a good way or a negative way, right? And it just sticks with me. Your Name is one of those movies that, like, it just touched my soul in a way that, like, it just, I couldn't stop thinking about it. So Makoto Shinkai has created all of these movies, and he just announced, or the announcement came out, that he's working on another project that will be a theatrical release. Couldn't be better timing, right?
You made me so happy, dude. Because your name was for the longest time as my highest rated anime.
Oh,
highest rated.
It's brilliant.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Watched it multiple times. First off, writing on the hand part, broke me. The stairs broke me. Those movies are beautiful. And now, correct me if I'm wrong, though. I know one thing about him. He did say, though, that there's a certain scene from Your Name that happens in Your Name that he wouldn't do nowadays.
I don't remember.
So in Your Name, they have body swapping.
Right.
And
the first scene?
Yes.
Okay.
The first time that they swap bodies, the guy, cops a feel.
Whatever.
Honestly,
I think it's like that's
what every guy would
do. Good scene, because what straight 15-year-old boy who wakes up as
I do it to myself every day.
Girl, right?
Gotta check.
What 15-year-old boy that wakes up in a girl's body isn't going to go like, oh wow, look at that? Every single one's going to do it. So accurate. I think it would have been a disservice to the story not to do that, because
let me ask you this: you switch bodies though, not with a female, but with another guy. You checking the hardware?
I mean, you're going to pee at some point, right? So like, it's
but you can do that without looking. I mean, that's muscle memory, buddy. Come on.
I don't.
You
think
know,
I don't think I'm going to think about it. I think it'll just like organically happen.
You have to touch it. So wait, hold on. All right. Next topic. We're going to talk about the movies. So with that, people realize that money is in movies.
Yeah.
And prime example of why I'm scared about this, because I mean, you had Eminence and Shadow. They were supposed to have a movie for the longest time, and I think now they just released a trailer, or potentially released a trailer, or talk about it. I don't know. Hopefully, please hurry up. Then you have, what was it? They're talking about maybe Solo Level season 3.
Solo Leveling will be a movie instead of
a movie.
3. Yeah,
instead of season 3.
The speculation.
I'm worried about that.
Here's the
very worried.
I actually covered that because some production notes were leaked from the parent company that owns Solo Leveling, that's working on all of the anime. And the person that leaked it was a Korean national. And he said he read it and was like, they're saying that they're going to focus on a Solo Leveling movie before season 3. So I have a couple points on this. First point is, if they were going to do a movie, because season 2 ends right after he defeats Biru, the Chimera Ant King.
Yes.
So there's an arc that could work right after that, being the Red Gate, where he goes into a red gate and like all these, beasts escape and they attack his school, or his sister's school. And so like, that's a small little arc in and of itself that could work, kind of like Jujutsu Kaisen, the Bomb Girl arc, like that, or I'm sorry, not Chainsaw Man, the Bomb Girl arc, that could work. Yeah. So that's the speculation there. And I completely forgot what my other point was.
Well, maybe this might jog it, because I think I know you're going to go with this, because this is what I was thinking. Soul Leveling season 3. Instead of being Soul Leveling season 3, it's going to be Soul Leveling the movie. Now, we had a Soul Leveling movie before, but it was supposed to be the first couple episodes.
It was just the last, I could see that happening. The first 2.
I could see that happening with Soul Leveling. That would be fine. They do kind of like how we always seen anime do. They do
Jujutsu Kaisen's doing right now with Extinction.
Yes. How Demon Slayer did with Mugen Train. Same situation like that. They make a movie, drag it out.
Did Demon Slayer do that with Mugen Train?
Yeah, they did Mugen Train, and then they did individual episodes for that.
Okay, we're talking about season out of it. We're talking about different things. I'm talking about when Solo Leveling put out the Solo Leveling movie, and it was the last 2 episodes of season 1 and the first 2 episodes of season 2.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I meant, like how like they chopped up like they made a movie, and then they released the episodes. Yeah. So in some situations, yes, we're on the same page.
They made a movie, and then
they made it
episodes.
Yes, and then you saw the same thing with Demon Slayer. Infinity Castle, you thought they were going to chop it up too. So I can see that happening with Soul Leveling. I can see that happening. I don't think that's going to happen, though. I think it's just going to be a movie, which if it is, that's fine.
We'll be fine.
But I don't want them to do it because they see the success that everyone's doing in movie theaters, which is probably what it is. And they know for a fact it will do well in theaters. And I'm definitely going to watch it.
Yeah.
I am worried about that, though.
The point that I was going to make that was interesting is that one leak that came out that was one screenshot from production notes from that company that this guy leaked. I took that screenshot and I'm like, okay, if I'm going to report on this, I want to know everything I can. So like what he was saying supported it. And so I took the screenshot and I uploaded the image to Chat GPT, and I was like, hey, can you translate this for me from
Oh,
Korean to English?
okay.
And so it
Yeah.
translated it, and I read it, and I was like, there's nothing in here about solo leveling. And
Mhm.
so I asked ChatGPT, hey, is there anything mentioned about solo leveling or any of the solo leveling franchise? And so
Mhm.
basically, I uploaded it to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT said without a shadow of a doubt that there was no mention of solo leveling in that image. So ChatGPT could be wrong, or the guy that leaked it could be wrong. I'm not sure, but we haven't heard anything else about it.
I don't
So
know. I
that's
feel like
also
there's a
interesting.
lot of college students out there that believe that ChatGPT is the cheat code. So I don't know. I
I
think
mean,
ChatGPT
ChatGPT
is
is
wrong.
definitely wrong sometimes. There's been
Yeah,
multiple
yes,
times
definitely.
that I've asked it to do
Definitely.
things that are wrong. So that's
But
interesting. Yeah, movies are
excuse
definitely
me.
like
Oh my
taken
gosh.
off, and I think it's all a sign of how popular anime is becoming, and
Mhm.
growing pains, right? So studios going out of business, that's growing pains.
Mhm.
Anime becoming super popular, and then now movies are doing really, really well.
Mhm.
And then we're going to have a rush for people to want to make movies instead of maybe, a season or something. And that's going to be growing
Yes.
pains, figuring all of that out. And I think it'll be important to like for everybody to get the balance to figure out what's right. And then I think the last piece that's going to be really important that I believe studios in Japan have just made an official announcement on is they said that Western culture will not influence
Good.
Japanese
Yes.
anime.
Yes.
Period.
Correct. It shouldn't.
That is great,
It
because if
shouldn't.
Western culture, outside of maybe Western culture, affects the mangaka writing the story or something, right? Like they
It
make
should
the
never.
way
No.
the
It,
manga,
it should
which is
never
fine.
affect it. It should never affect it. I'm sorry. It
Yeah.
never should
They mean
at all.
affecting it as in changing it, like dictating you can't write about this or you can't write about that, or we're going to
Yeah.
change this as we animate it type of a thing. And so
Nope.
that was a big
I don't agree with that.
article that came out that was
Mhm.
great.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I do not like, and I'm so glad that topic came up too, because yes, for me, I have been a big believer that anime did something
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
The reason why I did something right is because they're doing what they feel is right,
Yeah.
appeasing their culture,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
Giving the
you
people
know
what
what's
they
so
want,
interesting?
servicing the fans actually.
Like what's so
Good.
interesting, and I know this is like this is a really difficult thing for a lot of people to accept, but like some anime does have fan service, right? And if you
Yes,
don't
that's
know what
exactly what I'm going to.
fan service is just gratuitous sexuality for the sake of gratuitous sexuality. That's essentially what it is, right?
It's servicing the fans. Whatever
Correct.
that they
Now,
believe that a target audience wants is what they'll
right.
provide.
Here's the interesting thing that's really hard for some people to understand. Um, if you don't like fan service in anime,
Mhm.
just don't freaking watch anime with fan service in it. I
Just
know it's
change.
really, really difficult for people to
Mhm.
like grasp that, but like you don't have to watch the things you don't like.
You
I
know,
watched the first episode of Goblin Slayer and I was like, whoa,
couldn't
this
watch it.
is this
Yep.
is this is for somebody else. And I didn't watch anymore.
Yep.
I
No,
didn't
you
advocate for Goblin Slayer to be changed or for nobody to watch it. I was just like,
exactly.
not for me.
When
You
you
don't have
talked
to
about
watch the
the
stuff you don't
scenes that
like.
stuck with you, that stuck with me. And guess what? I didn't want to watch it. I didn't like it. I didn't continue watching it. Now I have been thinking about going back and rewatching it. I have, because there's certain
Starting back
like,
up with episode 2 since you already seen the dramatic episodes.
yeah. I mean, I saw episode 1. There's been times where I want to go back and watch it. I do feel like, because the clips I've seen of it did have a drastic change. But when people talk about fan service, they always talk about one specific thing. We all know what it is. But
Jiggle physics.
everyone needs, which is nothing wrong if you want to watch that. Excuse me. The problem is with fan service, people have only seen it as that. No, again, it is servicing the fans. Look at the words right there. It's servicing the fans. Whatever the target audience for that anime is what they're servicing. If it's for a teenage boy, if it's for an older audience, if it's for the females, all that stuff, they do it for both sides. The problem thing is, I'm actually doing something right now. I'm committing almost social media suicide. It is something I'm gonna be doing, and I'm getting tired of it. I've just gotten so fed up. That's why I'm glad you brought this up. I'm so fed up with fan service. Everyone's saying, "Oh, you can't watch this anime because it's fan service.
You're
You can't
fed
watch
up
because
with
of
the
this."
fan service hate, not necessarily the fan
No,
service.
not the fan service. I'm tired of
Yeah.
people attacking anime because of things that are in it. Here's the problem. Watch something else.
Yeah.
Oh, I
There's
didn't like this
anime
anime
with no
because of
fan
this. I didn't like
service.
this anime because of that. I didn't like this anime because of this. shut up, watch something else. I'm doing now. I'm gonna start doing case files almost. I don't know exactly the title I'm gonna call it, but I'm gonna be defending. I'm gonna be actually going in there and defending certain animes. First one I'll be defending is Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation. That
Oh, that's a
one,
good one.
that is a hard thing for people to understand that it is. This is factual. Jobless Reincarnation is the best isekai. Now, not what I think. What Will thinks.
Fantastic.
It is rated as
Rated,
the number
yeah.
one isekai.
It is. You're absolutely right.
That's factual.
It is the highest rated isekai.
And if you want to go off of ratings, that means it is actually the best. Now, do I think it's the best? Probably not. There's one isekai I think that I just enjoyed the entire experience from start to finish. Never got a season 2. Breaks my heart. Whatever. We'll move on from that. Jobless Reincarnation is a good one, but everyone calls it Diddy Tyson. Everyone gets upset about Rudy's. Everyone gets with this. It takes a different understanding. And if you don't like it because of that, that is totally fine. You are valid for like not wanting that, not wanting to watch it. But the fact is that if people see it a different way, or if people are able to watch it and understand what it actually means, you shouldn't be attacking them for that. I don't. For me, I'm not attacking people who don't like it. I'm not attacking people who do like it. I just want people to come to an understanding that this is example A, this is example B, and example C, all that. And fan service is just, it is when I hear people say this stuff, when they want to critique anime and make it the way you want it, I'm sorry, honey. They made that anime. The manga writer wrote it the way they wanted it.
Freaking Tite Kubo, the guy who created Bleach, the dude's a freaking gangster. He put out a post. He put out a post online because he was getting criticized for Bleach, and his post basically said, "Hey, I appreciate everybody's like very emotional and you know very vigorous thoughts about all of this, but I have created this story the way that I wanted to create it. If you have issues with it or you think you can do a better job, then I encourage you to learn how to draw and write and create your own manga."
Yes,
that's like freaking mic drop, bro. Like.
If you want to change things in anime, do it yourself.
And if you don't like it, then do something yourself. And that's such a great example, right? And as content creators, I'll clap back at people and say that to them, or they're like, "This was terrible. You shouldn't have done this." I'll be like, "Hey, if you don't like this, go make your own video that's highly produced with your gear and all that stuff, and make your own opinions. Go do your own thing. Don't just sit there and criticize." But there's a big lesson that I learned a long time ago. Big lesson. And this applies to content creators. It applies to anime. It applies in a lot of fields. But the specific areas that are relevant to us is anime and content creators, right? And it's this right here. It's very simple. Write this down if you're listening. This will change your life, okay? Those who can't criticize those who do.
True. I mainly started doing content creation. I mainly did it to find other people to talk anime about, right? And that's what it solely has. Now, sometimes when I change the way I do my content, it's either because I want to do it that way, or the big factor is because I believe I can do it better.
Yeah.
I gotten tired of seeing certain people and they post certain content. I'm just like, I feel like I could do it better. Or I feel like if they just did it this way. I got tired of saying that and I actually just did it. And I got to the point where I realized, hey, I actually like the content I'm putting out. And it actually became a thing where like, this is something I enjoy. Not that I just want to be better than somebody else. I just feel like, man, if this person did say this thing, if this person did that thing, that's why, you know, like when I watch Will's videos and all that, for me, his content is so much different than mine. And I'm like, would I have done this? Would I have done that? Maybe, but is it something I want to go into? No, because I feel like, first off, Will does a great job as he does. Just
or if
putting that out there.
You see somebody do something and you're like, ooh, I could do that topic, but I could do it my way. And I think my way would be better. So you can go make that video and it's a completely different video because you're doing it the way that you like to do things, right?
Yes.
With my interview content, like I'm trying to say this carefully because I'm not trying to be disrespectful or be mean to anyone. And that's not my heart at all.
You're not the only interviewer. No.
I saw people out there doing interview content asking all the same exact simple questions, right? And I'm not going to say any questions or anything, but it's just the same exact simple questions. It's creators that I enjoy and that I watch. Same exact simple questions. So I started doing that, making the same exact simple questions. And then I was like, man, like I want to be different. I want to do it different. So like I actually like sit down and like come up with different questions and come up with different things. Like what
Questions
anime
you'd want to be
character,
asked potentially.
yeah, or like
Yeah.
things that make people think, what anime character would you vote for president?
You do that a lot of times.
If
I'm
your
like,
life
you
was
make
an
me ponder.
isekai, if your life was an isekai, what would it be called? Like
Mm,
things like that that are just different and interesting that maybe they'll work, maybe
mhm.
they won't. But I look
At
at
least you
that and I
enjoyed
say,
it.
I could do that better, or I could do that different. And so I actually try to do it. And that's something that, like, we're getting into like old boomer talk here, but that's something that like the internet has given people the ability to just criticize from their phone
Mhm,
and
mhm.
then like just complain and not offer any solutions. If I'm ever complaining in a video, I try to offer a solution if I have one that I realistically know. If I don't, I'm
Right.
just like, I don't know what the solution is. Back to the One Punch Man season 3 stuff. Whenever I've talked about it, I'm like, I don't really know what's going on. What happened to the
Mhm.
budget? I don't know what the solution is here, right? And so I think that's something that
My thing is,
is important and goes hand in hand with what you're talking
right,
about with people
right.
criticizing anime because they don't like it and this and
No,
that and the other. And
I think people like originality. I think honestly, for me, I don't know if you were the first, but for me, you were the first person I saw that did interview content.
okay.
That's how I found you, based off of one of your interview contents. Then since I followed you, I found other people who do the same
Mm-hmm.
kind of content, but I haven't found some of the people that do the same questions. What I do enjoy seeing though, and I wish I could give them a shout out. I'm sorry, I can't remember your names right now, but there are certain content creators out there that do such a good job of like asking the questions.
Mm-hmm.
One of them I just recently reacted to one of his videos because I think someone sent it to me or it pops on my free page. I think someone sent it to me though. He does a great job of something I never thought of, but like listing 0 through 10. What's a
Mm-hmm.
0 out of 0 anime? What's a 1 out of 10
Oh,
anime?
was that is it John Marco? John Marco
I,
asks, Hispanic
maybe.
looking guy, little
Yes.
goatee. Yeah,
Yes.
that's John Marco.
Yeah.
Yeah, John
Okay.
Marco's legit.
He does a good job. He asks questions, and I've seen some other
And
stuff of
that's
his
an
videos.
original idea. I've
Good
not seen
job.
anybody else
I
do
like it.
that.
Another one I like though, even though it is like on the nose, but the way he does it, he builds a character out of it. I like originality and I like characters. Those are the things I like. The only thing is, I feel like characters are a lot harder to do when it comes to content creation because you have to keep that up
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
versus just being yourself. I do like the one guy who pretends he's like a security guard and asks people like, what's their hot
Yes.
take.
Oh God. What
He's
is
like, don't worry, you're safe. And I'm like, I like the bit. I like it because he does get some like good hot takes, but
It's
like
like his
everyone knows what hot takes are.
cosplay, his outfit all the time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
For
it's
the
good.
life of me, I can't think of his channel name, but
But
he's
those
I
two
love
come
his
to mind.
videos. He's a nice guy.
Now, there's other ones that do come to mind, and sadly, I remember their names that do the same form of content. I'm not a big fan of that, but I like originality. I like seeing stuff like that. Hopefully, we can actually, if you're seeing this, hopefully we can send the invitation and all. We can get you guys
That
on the
would be really
podcast.
fun. That would be a good
Yeah,
idea
I would
to
enjoy
somebody
that.
invite on.
But no, I mean, I've gotten to the point where like, I don't know. I like enjoying stepping on my shell. I like trying to do different stuff. I'm at the point right now. I'm just like, when you get tired of making certain stuff, and I'm not getting tired of making recommendations, but when you get tired of doing the same stuff over and over
You
again,
want to add something in that's
you want to
different,
spice
and
it up,
fresh, and exciting. Which is
spice.
Which is exactly why, when you look at my content, or
Mhm.
when somebody else looks at, if you go look at any of my channels, there's 3 different types of content on my channel. There's interview content where I'm interviewing cosplayers. There's panel content where I'm moderating
Mhm.
panels. And there's content where I'm sitting right here in front of the camera and I'm talking about whatever. I'm bringing in
Mhm.
anime news, or I'm giving my opinion on something, or
Just
breaking down a
whatever you
fan
want to talk
theory on
about.
something,
Yeah.
whatever. And I have those 3 kinds because I don't get bored. I get to do
Mhm.
3 different types of content. And it all started with interview content. And then I
Mhm.
added on panels, and then I was like, I got to do something else. And then I added that on, and it keeps it fresh. So yeah,
Yeah.
you probably just need to add on a new style.
Well, I'm getting in there. It's like I've always wanted to, but having the time for it. And if y'all don't realize too, like I said, me and Will, we're still getting over our sicknesses, like our voices.
I know. I apologize for all the
it is so
sneezes and
rough.
the coughs this episode.
That's why I'm not also trying to get like too excited or too loud because I know that's when it really does come out. The other day I was talking, I kept on like choking on my words. I was like, the next day I had to record the podcast. I texted Will, I was like, we might have to do another day because I just need a rest. For some reason, talking, and that's what we have to do on the podcast, makes my voice go dry. It's been rough. Not only that, doing 10-hour days at work for 6 days, might be able to get a little bit of break coming on. Dude, I forgot to tell you this. You know what also happened? I'm sorry, this is a little ADHD moment, but you know what happened? It's been crazy. While at work, so we're driving these big trucks right now. And I said, you're doing this for like 10 hours and all that. It's crazy. One of my leaders comes up to me and says, hey, we got to fill out this form and all that. We do it on these iPads. I was like, all right, cool. That's fine. Well, the thing is, you have to do like a sign in, and the verification push has to go to your phone. So I had to verify. I was like, all right, cool. We're sitting right in front of the hood of the truck and all. So I put it right on the front tailgate, I guess, so the hood, and my phone. And I started on the iPad. I was like, all right, cool. Get my crew. We get in the truck and we roll out. We get to the site, and I'm like, wait a second. Where's my phone?
You left your phone.
I was like, I left it on the hood of the truck, and I was like, crap, let's go back, see if I can find it. I was like, I don't care if it's broken and all. I just need what's on the phone.
Yeah,
all right,
that's get
I need
everything
it on it. Because I kid you not, the weekend before I did this, because this is on a Tuesday. Like that Sunday, I was thinking maybe I need to back up my phone onto my computer because I'm kind of reorganizing everything on here. I was like, I need to put all this stuff in there. I was like, I'll do it next weekend, or I'll do it when I'm done doing these long days. Yeah. Well, that was a big sign for me to get going on that. I come back, couldn't find it. Go into the shop. I'm like, hey, I don't have my phone and all that, so just call me over the radio. And they're like, is it this? And it's right there on the table. Phone, and I kid you not, the screen was white, just white. I'm like, oh crap, shattered to heck, right? Oh. So I was like, whatever, didn't even bother about it. Put it in the truck. I was like, I'll get the stuff on of it because it was still on. So I was like, I can get the stuff off of it. It's fine. Go to the site, do all that stuff. And once we were unloading, I was like, wait a second. I take off the case. The case was just shattered. The screen was just on a constant white. I was like, okay, well, let me just turn it off because it's making my phone hot. Let me do that. The screen was messed up, though. It was messed up. Then after that, during lunch, I go drop it off at this phone place just to get it fixed, the screen fixed, $200 in my pocket, whatever. He said it's going to be a couple hours. I'll pick it up after work. Nothing going on. Here's the funny part. During that time, my phone indicated to all of my emergency contacts that I had been in a wreck at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, no.
And at the SOS, it was notifying my location. So every time I'm moving, it got ran over. And it's telling everyone where I'm at, my location. So my sister, dad, mom, even my wife. My wife's literally bolting to my job because she hasn't heard from me. She thinks I'm in a wreck. Thankfully, she has contacts with other people. And they found out. I get over the radio. They're saying like, Kyle, you okay? I was like, yeah, good. He's like, and then I heard nothing. I was like, yeah, good. And I was like, whatever. I didn't think of anything. They finally told my wife. And so she drove back. Here's the thing, though. While we were out there at my job, the fire department pulled up and they drove by us like slowly, like twice. And one of them was like pointing, kind of like laughing. And they're like, oh, you're like, oh, kind of like that. I was like, what are they laughing for? One of my guys was like, they're probably just laughing at what we were doing. I was like, all right, cool. Not realizing, though, it sent the fire department to my phone because they thought I was in a wreck. It sent the cops to our base. I'm completely oblivious. I didn't know until 5 o'clock. I called Grace and she's like, God, do you know what happened? I was like, no, what? It's just like, it told you were in a wreck. We thought you were dead. I was like, what?
Oh my God.
And I had to go through like everybody, do all this stuff. I was like, what the heck? It was terrible. Terrible. That was a great way to start, the week.
Wow.
Yeah. Doing a whole 10-hour shift, coming off of that, not realizing that people thought I was dead and all that. That was great. Yeah. Cause like, I think my dad was talking to my wife. My sister was talking to my wife, and then like my mom, like she barely looks at her phone. So she didn't know what was going on until like my dad found out and all that stuff. So it was great. It was good. I got an earful from my wife when I got home. So that was great.
It's like I didn't do anything. Being sick. I didn't even know my phone was broken.
Yeah. Plus being sick and all this stuff. I was like, it is what it is. But that's why, doing what I'm doing right now, getting a little extra hours and all that too. It's been that, plus being sick, plus, Facebook. I have a good turn on Facebook and all that. I'll probably tell you more about that later. But yeah, good thing I have now is I got a mini fridge in the room, stock full of alcohol.
Yeah, you showed me that. I got a mini fridge.
I'm enjoying it.
That I need to have the.
Did you get the plug?
No, I haven't done that. I need to do it. It's just
so
many things I need to do. Yeah,
I think it was during the weekend or the week. I texted Will and I was like, he is the connoisseur, the expert on the situation. So like, if Will wanted to know anime, he'd come to me. Don't go to Taylor. Come to me. So I asked him. I was like, hey, I've been thinking about starting my own bourbon collection. What should I start with? And I've been thinking about doing this one specific alcohol. And he sent me like multiple ones. I was like,
I think it's like 3 or 4.
I just want one, And then he said one of the ones that was listed on there that I was thinking. I was like, you know what? Let's do it. I haven't cracked it open yet, but I will. Once I'm done with the weekend, started and all that too. But yeah, it's been
once you're chilling. Hey, I know we promised everybody we're going to talk about Demon Slayer. Let's talk about Demon Slayer. I'm sorry.
We're talking about Demon Slayer?
My Hero Academia.
Okay, good, because I have it right here. I'm ready to talk about it. I'm sorry. Yeah,
I'm
that was
still a
that
little
was a
bit
tangent.
out of it. I apologize, everybody.
Yeah.
We're all over the place. My Hero Academia. So let's talk about My Hero Academia's final season.
A lot to me.
Have you watched any of it?
No. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Why? Because what? I don't want to break your heart, Will, but I'm gonna do it. Just know I come from a place of love. I really don't care for My Hero that much.
It's because you have bad taste.
No, it's just I loved it so much, and then once I got caught, this is just me. This is my personal issue. I watched it when it all came out, and I got caught up with it so fast. I wanted more. It wasn't being released, and this is during the time period when I started watching anime, like only as a binge worthy. I didn't watch it as the episodes were coming out, and for some reason now, even though it's changed, I do watch anime as episodes are coming out. I enjoy that a lot more now, actually, with certain animes. For some reason, My Hero only feels good for me watching it binge worthy. Does that make sense?
Well, the good thing is,
but you could spoil everything because I've already seen a lot of
spoilers.
spoilers.
The rest of the series is available to you, except for the last like 5 episodes, so you can totally binge it. Which
aren't they going like hiatus or something?
No, they're just going to finish it. It's only I think the final season's only going to be 11 or 12 episodes, and the 5th or the 6th just aired. I would highly recommend watching it.
Yes,
because it is very good. It continues to evolve and develop and change.
I do have questions, though. I do have questions.
Okay, that's good. I likely have answers. What's crazy about the final season is it's so interesting to see like the juxtaposition between like One Punch Man that's getting like 5.8, 5.5. It just had its first 6 out of 10 episode. And then My Hero Academia that has 6 episodes out, 5 or 6 episodes out. Every single one of them has been 9 out of 10 or higher.
Thank
all
you,
of them.
Because I have it right here. I have it
right
here. I have
really good. But here's the prediction that I'm going to make, though. Okay, here's the prediction I'm going to make.
Tell me.
Because all 6 of these episodes have just been banger action fights, gorgeous animation, like top tier action. This next episode that's going to come out is probably going to be less action because Deku is kind of like in a memory thing where he's like inside of Shigaraki's brain. And I'm going to try, for anybody listening that's not cut out, I'm going to try not to like actually spoil, but I might talk about things that are happening, but not actually spoil like.
Kind of like the mind thing when he was talking to the previous power owners. Kind of like that almost?
Similar to that.
Okay.
But like inside of Shigaraki's mind. And so the next episode, essentially what's going to happen is he's going to see Shigaraki's backstory from Shigaraki's like perspective, right? So the next episode is going to be a backstory of Shigaraki,
which is the POV VR set,
which is fantastic. Which is like his backstory is insane, but it's not going to be a bunch of action. It's not going to be a bunch of fighting. So I'm going to make the prediction that the next episode of the final season of My Hero Academia is going to be the lowest rated so far
of the
season so far.
Okay.
Just because it's not a bunch of crazy animation and like Bakugo fighting and All Might showing up in a mech suit and all this crazy stuff happening.
Yeah.
It's
I can stand behind that.
That's my I could be wrong. I could be wrong because like Togepi's Original Sin got like all 9s and none of it was really action. Like it was really good and emotional. So I could be wrong, but that's my prediction.
But Togepi's Original Sin was a very niche anime that not a lot of people know. And if you've not seen it, please watch it. But do be warned, though, it is very rough to watch. But it is a good anime that was built on its great story.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to talk about how Demon Slayer is built off of its animation, that's a little debatable. Because I mean, honestly, I didn't really notice this until now too. The manga versus like the anime of how they look are very different, and that really can make or break it.
Light years above.
Yeah. When I look at the manga, I was like, how is this the most #1 rated movie of all time? When I'm looking at the animation, though, I'm like, obviously it's the #1 movie of all time
because Ufotable cooked.
Oh gosh, you're gonna kill me. You gotta be rage baiting, Will. It's Ufotable. I love you, man.
Ufotable?
No. So with this, my issue is I do agree that could happen. I really hope it's not. I really do pray that people have an open mind when it comes to it, because if you have a good story plus good animation, that means you have a great anime, which I believe this season will have.
Especially
I just think it's gonna get knocked down.
Especially when you're at the end, you're at the very end and you're learning crucial plot points about like the main bad guy.
Yeah. I mean, look at right now, I'm gonna list it off. Season 8 currently, if you look at the season 8 rankings, 9.1 for episode 1.
Yep.
9.6 for episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
9.8 for episode 3. 9.7 for episode 4. 9.1 for 5. And currently for episode 6 is a 9.3. So far, you have 2 episodes on there as a 9.1. But what I listed off there was every single one is above a 9.
Which is impressive.
Or even, just imagine how many animes out there do you know that
there's not a lot for a whole season. Like that's why I brought up Takapi's Original Sin, because that's like the most recent one I can remember. I think Attack on Titan, all of it was mostly an 8 or above. It's just I'm just spitballing there.
Looking at previous seasons, though, I will give you this.
Oh, there's going to be
My Hero hasn't. Yeah. It's very hit and miss. Yeah. I mean, if you're looking at the one I'm looking at right now, they do a color grading of this. If you're dark green, that means you're awesome. If you're light green, that means you're great.
Yeah.
Yellow is good. Orange is regular. Red is bad. Purple is garbage. Thankfully to say, there are no purples on here. There's no purples, but there is one red, a couple of oranges, a lot of yellows, and a lot of greats. Not a lot of awesomes though.
Yeah,
not a lot.
That sounds about right.
But at the same time, the awesome ones on here though, they're very high. I'm seeing 9.6, 9.8, 9.5, 9.5. There's just multiples on there, so they're very. Yeah. If they're awesome, they're awesome.
When I recommend My Hero, I'm recommending it as a whole. Like there's obviously parts of it that aren't as good as other parts, but as a whole story, it is so good. And like if you don't want to watch it, read it. Like the manga, like you were saying, the Demon Slayer manga looks so much different than the actual anime. The My Hero Academia manga is pretty good. Horikoshi can like draw some manga panels, man. It's legit. Yes. Like it's really, really solid.
For how controversial My Hero Academia is, for 101,538 people to vote on this anime being an 8.2 out of 10.
That's solid.
That is insanely solid.
Yeah. An 8
for
out of 10.
How controversial it is.
Yeah. I mean, it is out of 10. So like you got to understand, a 10 out of 10 is impossible. Nothing's getting a 10 out of 10. So a 9 out of 10 would theoretically be just about perfect, right? Just about like perfect. So an 8 out of 10 is a near perfect show. And that's exactly how I would describe My Hero Academia, as a near perfect show. Yes. My bias makes me say that I think it is the best shonen of our era. I think it's the best.
There's nothing wrong with saying that.
Yeah.
This is all opinion based.
I'll be the first to, I know it's not perfect. I know it's not a perfect show, but my bias leads into it. I really do enjoy it. And shonen is just the whole concept of like an underpowered person that gets the ability to become powerful and all that stuff. I absolutely love that stuff.
So the thing is, all those people don't realize, I would love for there to be a 10 out of 10 anime. I would love it. It's, again, like Will said, it's impossible, because you could have, theoretically, you could have a 9.9999999. Keep it going, right? There's always going to be one person who won't agree. There's always going to be that one person, because these are all rated off of people's opinions of what they thought of it. Do I have a 10 out of 10 anime? Maybe. Yeah, for your most opinion, of them are 9 out of 10. Right? Yes, these are all my opinions. But as collective, as everyone who's seen this anime has joined together and said, this is a perfect anime, that is impossible. That's going to be impossible. I would love for that to happen, but it is impossible.
I would say
so. What you'll see is a lot of more
near perfect, though.
Yeah, you'll see a lot more 7 out of 10s than you'll see a 8 out of 10, or nearly impossible to find a 9 out of 10. If I'm being honest, when you see those, you got to appreciate those 9 out of 10s. But an 8 out of 10, that's still something to talk about. That's still a good anime. For their worst episode being a 5.5. Being in season 5, episode 16. I don't know if you know that one part.
Does it say the name?
Yes, it actually does. It says "Long time no see, Selkie."
Silky.
Silky. It is. It says Ryuku brings up. I think they say Ryuku.
Ryoko.
Right? I think so. Brings her work study students with her. When Silky.
Yeah, I know the episode.
Asked her to team up with him.
It's kind of a filler episode, but not really. It's like they're
and looking at the images, it felt filler.
Yeah, it's like they're all doing their work study program, which is when all the UA students that have their provisional hero licenses.
And I didn't really care for that.
Yeah,
I really didn't.
Like at that point, you're like, I just kind of really care what Deku's doing, right? And so they
Well,
show you Deku's hero study, but then they also go to some other students and like some, side characters that are in 1A, and you get a whole episode about that. And it's like, I don't really care about this character. Like, yeah, it's cool, but I don't really care. And this was something that was probably like 2 pages out of that chapter of the
right.
manga, right? And they made an episode out of it.
My problem with it though is it's not even the episodes themselves. It was just the people they were matched up with, the teachers.
Yeah.
When they're interning during this time, I didn't like that. I felt like this was a good time to learn more about these people and their powers.
Now, I will say,
and then how they could break through to them.
something that's really cool is in the work study program, the hero, I can't remember the hero's name, but the hero that Ochako teamed up with, Ochako, like that hero.
Wasn't it the dragon?
I can't.
No.
It's the guy that's like the guy that can fight really well, the hand-to-hand fighter. He taught Ochako how to fight really well and how to use body momentum and body weight, because her ability like makes things weightless. And like once we get into the final war arc and she's fighting a lot, she's using those techniques regularly. So it actually shows like that work study made her a better hero, made her a more well-rounded hero, which I thought was really cool, that it like brings that back full circle.
For me, what I'm looking for is I want someone to actually have an impact on this person. All right. If you look at when it comes to the old guy with Deku, he had an impact on him. He helped him out. He realized, yes, very good job. Very good job. But it felt like a lot of these work studies, and it happens a lot with this show, and it's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying that. It's just for me personally, I didn't like it. It just felt like it was supposed to be more of a funny thing. Was it the genius guy when he was doing it with Bakugo, I mean, like, obviously, you're going to take an edgy person, make him look all fashion, prim and proper.
Yeah, that's going to be funny. Comedic relief.
But I'm looking more for the deep impact. Like you said, there are certain ones that actually had the impact I enjoyed. It changed Uraka's fight style.
Here, let me blow your mind.
Blow
okay?
Blow
that actually, like, if you think of Bakugo's character as a whole, let's just take that example. Bakugo being paired up with Best Jeanist being kind of like like the antithesis of who Bakugo's personality is. Bakugo would have paired much better with like Endeavor, right? But Bakugo being paired with Best Jeanist is part of Bakugo's story, where his entire psyche is dismantled, where he thinks he's like the hot shit, and all these things are happening to where that's dismantled, to where he's humbled. That's part of that process of him being humbled, of him realizing like, oh, I'm not like the best that there is. They're like it. So that's part of this whole process, which leads up to an incredibly epic moment in the final season. That's just beautiful and awesome.
Don't get me wrong. It was good what he did, but I think also just my pain or my skepticism watching this, because of the comedic relief, just didn't really make me enjoy the actual, like, the undertones, what it was really meaning.
Sure.
But when you said that, though, if you think about Bakugo, his character, he would have never gone with Endeavor, even though it seemed like a good matchup.
Clashed.
Well, not even that. Is because Bakugo is All Might's #1 fan. That's technically his rival.
Yeah.
Bakugo would never do that. Knowing how his person is, the thing is, no one would match him, because he would only want to be with the best, but also at the same time, knowing his character, I'm just thinking as we're saying it, no one's as good as him. He thinks he is the best.
Talking about Bakugo, like an interesting thing about Bakugo, here's a little spoiler point, right?
Nobody's good enough.
This isn't a massive spoiler, but something that you see with Bakugo all the time throughout My Hero Academia, I challenge anybody to go back and watch it. Whenever Bakugo is in his school uniform or outside of his hero uniform, Bakugo always has his hand in his pocket. You always see Bakugo.
We've talked about this multiple times.
You always see his hand in his pocket. You always see his hand in his pocket. And then in the final season, when you think when you think Bakugo's dead, but he gets back up and he's not dead, and he puts his hand in his pocket and he pulls out All Might's trading card. And in that moment, you realize this whole time his hand wasn't just in his pocket. His hand was holding on to All Might's trading card, like that was like inspiration, or that was just like his, what do they call it in Inception, his token, or whatever they, his,
that's right,
his totem. Like that's
a great totem, great analogy there.
And that happens, and and so like little things like that, right, are so good about this show. And I fully admit, like, I get that if some people don't enjoy it as much as I do, but it's really cool to see that this season, literally like 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10. And what I'm really hoping, without spoiling what happens,
Right.
because My Hero Academia ends, and it ends on a note that's fine, but people were upset with it. And then I think Horikoshi was just being cheeky, and Horikoshi released like 3 epilogues. So he released 3 extra chapters after it ended that tacked on a little more to the story. And once those 3 epilogues
should make people happy.
Yes, which should. And once those 3 epilogues are done, it really rounds it out. What I'm hoping,
very well.
I'm really hoping they include the epilogues in the anime. If they don't include those epilogues, the story would be incomplete. You know what I'm saying? Like, even like,
I would bust, Will.
They
I
could
would
include
bust.
They could include those 3 epilogues in like the last half of the last episode.
Not even just do a little montage of it, you know,
like
post-credit
I'm really
montage.
Hoping they do, because it's like officially My Hero Academia, because he wrote it. It's canon, but it's not in any actual manga volume.
All you shippers, I'm sorry. So it's canon. That's thing. It's canon. But another question I have to ask you, and before you get into your stuff, this also pertains to it. So obviously you could tell me about it. It's a twofold question actually. The sniper, I think it was the sniper
Lady Nagano
story. So was that in the same season? No, dude, you love it, man. You love your show. Come on, there's nothing wrong with that. The sniper lady, her storyline, wasn't that also in the same storyline where Deku goes like his dark mode?
Yeah,
yeah,
it's in the dark Deku arc. Yeah.
Okay, so this goes to my next question. Didn't you feel like it wasn't needed?
No.
Okay.
You know why?
Because for me,
you know why?
I was skipping through. I was like, bam, 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 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds.
She comes back.
Okay. Because honestly, everyone's crying, saying it's so sad. I'm like, so I went back and rewatched. I was like, okay, I didn't care for it.
You have all these, and I agree, because I thought the same thing. And then as I read the manga, I realized, oh crap, I was wrong. Horikoshi is actually brilliant here. You have all of these like anti-hero characters, Genteel Criminal, Hero Killer Stain, who's really a villain, but like he's like anti-hero villain status, kind of like Gentle Criminal, Hero Killer Stain. You have Lady Nagant. You have all these characters like that, right? That like serve these like little tiny roles that are a couple episodes that you're like, oh, they're done. And then Horikoshi brings them back in the final chapters, and they all have pivotal moments. Like, for instance, Genteel Criminal. He was a criminal. His ability was like he could make like little marshmallowy, like bouncy tufts of air. That was his ability, right? In the final season, he escapes from prison, because All for One escapes from prison, and he like gets out. And as without giving all the full context, as UA is a floating city at the time, as UA is falling down, about to crash and kill everybody that's in there, here comes Genteel Criminal and uses his power to hold UA aloft and save everybody in UA long enough to actually get it set down. So what Horikoshi does is he takes these little characters that seem forgettable, that seem like they're really not that important, and he brings them back for either a brief moment or you know, an extended moment, but they play a pivotal role at the end, and it's really, really good. It's really good.
NPC characters and turn them into side characters almost.
Oh yeah, I'd say take a side character, but then that you haven't seen, and then bring that side character back, and they do something that's pivotal to the story. And it makes sense. It's not like they were just given like, how would this person do this? It makes sense that they were able to do what they were able to do.
But really, don't get me wrong, that's cool and dandy. But for me, I know probably once I see the final season, I'll probably be saying other things. But for right now, currently, as I am right now, I still didn't care for it. I just didn't. I didn't really care for it.
That's okay.
That's true. I do. Hey, if it's noon, you know I'm goon. All right. This is the problem, though. This is the problem I want to talk about. Okay. My Hero Academia live action. Please tell me one. Because I know we've talked about it before. And I know you've talked about how he's very heavily involved. Bells are ringing.
Some of the new stuff, like, so there's new stuff that's come out, and there's a My Hero Academia live action is 100% happening. It's absolutely happening. It's confirmed. It's happening.
Please don't.
I would say this new information, I'm about to give it all to you guys. It hasn't made it to where I'm like, oh, I'm super excited about this, but it's made it to where I'm like, okay, maybe there's a small chance that they do it right. Maybe.
Nope.
Maybe, I don't know. More information has to come out, but
Mhm.
maybe there's a small chance that they do it right. But like, this is actually happening. And
Mhm.
so apparently, like, this has been in the works for a couple of years. And so Legendary Entertainment is producing the movie, which Legendary Entertainment is not a small studio. Like, Legendary Entertainment is a legit, like, I wouldn't say, I guess, Hollywood studio. I don't know. But Legendary Entertainment's producing it, and then Netflix is going to be distributing it. So it's going to be like a Netflix exclusive type of thing, right? So that's confirmed.
Mm.
That's happening 100% for sure. And then we have the director has been solidified, and the screenwriter, or the writer who's writing the screenplay, has been solidified. So the director is actually somebody that's done several live action adaptations. His name's Shinsuke Sato. So this guy has directed several live action adaptations of anime, the
Lots
most
of accolades.
successful of which, Alice in Borderlands. So he's the director of Alice in
So
Borderlands.
good.
Very,
So
very
good.
good.
Oh.
Completely different type of a show, completely different story, but he
Hated the
did
ending.
direct Alice in Borderlands. So this guy's going to be directing the My Hero Academia live action, okay? And then next, the screenplay, the person they're having write it is Jason Fuchs. Really funny last name. It's spelled Fuchs. So I had to like Google, like, how do you pronounce this? I don't want to say it wrong. Name's Jason Fuchs. He wrote
Oh,
Wonder
you know
Woman.
you want to say it.
Yeah, he wrote the original Wonder Woman movie with Gal Gadot. He wrote that.
Hold on, before
The
1942
original.
or whatever?
The original.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
1942, like just the
Okay.
Wonder Woman.
Okay. That one's still
Um,
bad, but it was better than the
And
previous
then
one.
he's one of the co-creators of Welcome to Derry, the new Pennywise TV show.
Oh, okay.
So they've got this guy doing the screenplay, right?
I haven't seen it, but I do want to watch it though.
Right.
And I've heard good things though.
Yeah, right. And then the last confirmed thing is that Horikoshi is it has been reported that he's very, very involved in this, to the extent that he's often and repeatedly reviewing the scripts and giving feedback on the scripts. So like the scripts being written, and he's going over it and like giving his input, I'm assuming, to keep it close to, or as close to, the story as possible. That's
Okay.
the biggest part of it all, in my opinion, is that he's intimately involved, because I think that's one of three things that made the One Piece live action successful, was Oda being very intimately involved with the script and the casting, right? That also being they had a massive budget, and then like it's One Piece. So those are the things that are confirmed. Before we get into the speculation, I'll let you, say what you think about the confirmed things.
Okay.
Those being that, I think Horikoshi, more than the other two, just doesn't make me be like, I'm super excited, but it makes me be like, okay, there's a chance, as small as it might be, there's a chance that this could be done well, which would be great if it was done well. Like, you can do superhero live action move. Like, it's been Hollywood's been doing it for the last 15 years. Like, it's possible.
They have.
So
it's possible.
That's my thoughts on that. What do you think about that? And then we'll get into like the speculative stuff.
Okay. So, just right now, before we get into it, speculations, just right off the dome, before I go into my factual stuff, I'm thinking of Bet, aka Kakaguri. That one right there, didn't hear anything about it, never watched it, so I can't really say too much about him. But I thought they did okay with the characters, from what I saw, and if people didn't like the changes, I thought they did pretty decent. But I'm looking right now, and looking at One Piece right now, Oda was heavily involved.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Alice in Borderland, the manga creator, was involved. He had supervision and, was it consultation?
Okay.
Right? The final season though. Okay. Yu Yu Hakusho, another Netflix one that came out. Will's favorite probably out of all the ones I've listed.
Not the live action. The live action was terrible.
No. It's his favorite live action. He loved it. Creator involvement. Don't let him fool you guys. Not rage baiting here. Creator involvement. There wasn't like direct contact, but there's very minimal. So
I can
kind of
tell.
Leans that way.
Yeah.
Rurouni Kenshin, the creator of that one for the live action film, there was involvement for him. Now, Cowboy Bebop, Death Note, Full Metal Alchemist, and all that, these ones right here, they did not have involvement.
So I'm seeing a trend, right?
Mhm.
The live action adaptations that are better or the more successful ones all had the creators somewhat involved. And then I would even go further to say, as the trend is, the ones where the creator was intimately involved are the better of the bunch.
Right. Now, like I said, with Alice in Borderlands, seasons 1, 2, and 3, you know, even people didn't really care for season 3. I still enjoyed it. Or was it only 3 seasons? Is it 2 seasons?
I think it was just 3 seasons.
Yeah,
I've
just
just
3 seasons.
watched
Okay,
the
so
first
for 1
season.
season. So season 2, it kind of does a little bit, but I really didn't. I still enjoyed it. But and if I'm being honest, it probably should have just left there. That was good. Going into season 3, I was optimistic, or the final season, whatever it was, and then it ended terrible, absolutely terrible. For me, I don't really pride myself of it, but I really do take great measure into what animes I want to support or what manga creators I want to support. I said, hence the shelf. If you look on the shelf, it's very hard to see, but it's right there. Alice in Borderlands. I had the first 3 novels, and a lot of times I just do the first 3 because I want to have room for multiple ones on there.
Right.
But I would sure as heck buy all of them. I don't like the ending. I didn't like the ending of the show. And I had to, because I was like, is that really how they left up? I looked up online. That's apparently not how it ended.
Oh.
That's apparently also not how he entered the games.
Pulled
also,
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of that. So it makes me question if the creator was involved. Now looking at it too, though, Rurouni Kenshin, which I've heard, that one was and same thing with Yu Yu Hakusho. That one was terrible. Both having the creators involved in those, though,
but minimal involvement.
True, except for Rurouni Kenshin, like I said, but that one still did. Yeah. So I did hear good things. I heard bad things and all that for what it was. A lot of people don't like the Edo era anyway, so that unlike Will and all that, I can understand.
The Edo era of Japan.
It's good. What's not to like? But if you look at One Piece, though, it does do very well. Now, will season 2 do well? I don't know. I think it's going to do well just because the mass
we're getting
following
a lot
that it has.
of like teasers and stuff, and it looks like they're like on par to do a good job. So we'll see.
I don't know if it'll do good. I really don't. We'll see.
You're bringing up all these live actions. Like, what's the
reason why? The point, as Will says, the land of the plane on this, the live action with My Hero Academia, I think is going to do terrible. I think it's not going to go well. I think it's going to be very, very hard to show these fights, these things that would mainly rely on a lot of CGI. It's going to cost a lot more than I think they are. And I it's either going to get scrapped, it's not going to perform well, they're going to cut corners.
Yep.
Even with the involvement of it too, there's a reason why they do animation. All right. If you look at, again, Demon Slayer, $20 million to make that, gets $600 million plus dollars. That's why a lot of these animes are going to that, because hey, $20 million just to make one thing, make $600 million off of it. Why not?
So
why not?
I'm in agreement.
That's why I'm worried. I'm worried.
I agree. But let me give you the devil.
Chop me down.
Shoulder, right?
Do it.
Like making me think, well, what if, right?
Yeah.
So let's break it down and make it real simple. The reasons I think that the One Piece live action was super successful because Oda was very involved. Okay. Because they had a really good budget to actually be able to pull off some of these more fantastical elements of the One Piece universe, right? And because One Piece is incredibly popular. Okay. So
I think it's just due to the popularity, if I'm being honest. I didn't think it lived up to the hype.
No, I think as a
but that's where we can be different. That's where we can be different.
As a standalone story, it did well. People who never watched the anime watched it and were like, "This is legit. I want to go watch the anime." So,
like, if I'm putting in perspective, for an example for you, like how people say the Soul Leveling and Free Ren, like Soul Leveling Glaze, that's why I believe what happened to the Glaze was on One Piece live action. But at the same time, I'm good-minded to understand that like it still did well and it's still a good series. I just think it was overhyped. I think there's Glaze.
So bearing those 3 factors in mind, right? My Hero Academia is insanely popular right now.
Yes.
Okay. So check. The mangaka is reportedly very intimately involved. Check.
Yeah, needed.
The last thing that's needed for it to have the recipe, just because you have the recipe doesn't mean the cake's going to come out delicious, right? But the last thing it needs to have the recipe that One Piece had that the One Piece live action had is a very large budget. Don't you think it's possible that somebody would put a budget behind this, seeing as all of the success within anime right now? Because it's a movie. It's
Right.
not a series. It's a movie. Don't you think that's possible, right? I think it's possible. I think it's possible.
I think
Somebody would
it's
put the money
actually
behind it.
worse. I think it costs more to make a movie than it does a TV show. If I'm wrong, but
Well,
at the same
dude,
time,
the budget for One Piece, I think the budget for the One Piece TV first 8 episodes was like $180 million,
yeah.
something like that.
Now I don't think they'll have
Here's
that.
what I'm saying.
I don't think they'll have that.
I'm skeptical, but because of those first two elements, the popularity and then Horikoshi being involved, because those elements are there, even in my skepticism with those two elements, I look at it and I can see a path that it could be done.
Don't you think it's crazy though?
Will it be done? I'm skeptical, but could have we seen incredibly epic superhero movies and TV shows for the past 10 years? Yes. Yeah, we have. Come on, take your opinion and set it aside. And
no, it's not that.
It's just, but objectively, we've had tons of Marvel movies. We've had tons of Marvel TV shows. We have DC
and they've all done bad. They've done bad. Not okay. And when I say all, I don't mean like through the past, like, decades of that we've had them. I'm talking about as of recently. Yeah, they've done terrible TV shows. Terrible superhero TV shows doing bad. All right, you want to go off of that? Doing bad. When it comes to movies, doing bad. When it comes to animation, superhero ones doing bad. Not including My Hero. Okay,
I think there's a lot
of ones that come off the dome. TV shows, The Boys, very good. It's very bad now.
Generation V is
movies,
really good.
Anything Marvel's putting out, anything.
And I think there's a lot to that. Well, I don't disagree with you. I agree with you.
No, but in animation though, Invincible, superhero one was doing really good, doing really bad now.
I think there's a lot. If you peel back the layers, there's a lot to why that's happening that like I don't really feel like is appropriate for us to get into like on our podcast. But all I'm saying is I'm using it as an example as like, can it be done? It is possible.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Right.
No.
So it is possible. So I see it as there's possible. A path. There's a path to where it could be possible. What do I think is the likelihood of all the elements coming into play and then that path being executed?
It's like here I'm signing my will.
I would bet that it's not going to be done well, like still. But
if
that's what's changed, like the perspective that's changed in me is I've gone from, oh, there's absolutely no way this can happen to, okay, I see a path that it could happen. I still don't think it's going to happen, but there is a road to where this could be done well. And the fanboy inside of me is like, I don't think it's going to happen, but if it does, how cool would that be? If it does, how cool would that be?
To appease Will, if I was on my deathbed right now and I was talking to somebody about my will, Kyle, aka Unboxing Anime, Unboxing Anime, Box of Cheerios, whatever you want to call me, and I'm of sound mind that I do believe it is possible that My Hero live action movie could be well.
But unlikely.
I'm of sound mind. But I do believe it's unlikely.
Yeah.
Unlikely.
I agree.
Now, here's the thing, though.
On the same page.
Don't you think it's crazy, though, that when you hear live action and Netflix, you're thinking, okay, it could be good, but also it could be bad. The chokehold that Netflix has on live action is insane because you're thinking, you want to be optimistic? Oh, Netflix, they have all the money. But then why do they keep on raising the prices if they have all the money? Because they're putting out crap shows. So here's the problem, though. Oh, it's by Netflix. Netflix puts out a lot of good shows, yes, but they also put a lot of bad shows.
Put out a bunch of jokes.
Netflix has the money. Do they really? But then also you look at all their accolades of live action. And yes, you have One Piece. Don't get me wrong. You have One Piece. List off the others, please. I'm sitting here waiting because it is so hard to find them.
I think you have like maybe 1% of the live actions they've put out have done well.
So, yeah.
So
I mean, hate me being skeptic.
I'm in agreement with you.
I want this to do well. I would love it. Just like how we said with One Punch Man Season 3. We wanted to do well. But is it likely? No.
Here's the difference. Here's the difference with the One Punch Man Season 3 episode. As soon as we started getting evidence and facts, those evidence and those facts pointed to it not doing well. To, oh, we're certain that it's not going to do well.
Your evidence is pointing towards the good direction.
What we're getting now is opening, even if it's just a crack, opening the window to, oh, maybe.
Yeah, your 3 tier, your 3 recipe
Yeah.
Yeah, it's matching.
We have to see what else comes down the pipe, right? Like
Netflix might have to run to the neighbors and say, "Hey, do you have any eggs? Do you have any extra sugar and all to make this cake?" Many money,
or
and then we can talk.
you could get a Horikoshi, you could pull a J.K. Rowling and say, "I'm out. I'm out."
Oh, don't do that. Don't no. We're not talking about that. Please. That still hurts me.
We're just gonna leave it at that. But hey, if you guys are watching or listening, wherever you're listening and watching, if you have the ability to comment, let us know what you think. Do you think there's a path for the My Hero Academia live action now that this information's come out? Is there a path for it to be done well, or is it going to be a dumpster fire? I still think it's going to be a dumpster fire, but there's this little glimmer that you never know.
Glimmer hope, but if they're smart and they're listening to our podcast, obviously they're smart because they've realized that we've been right constantly. They're gonna know what's going to happen.
One day we're going to be incredibly wrong about something. And
we always stay on topic. Always. We stay to the script every single time.
But yeah, let us know what you think, guys. And wherever you're watching, like if you can follow, subscribe, wherever you're watching, like if you enjoy the podcast, that is the best way that you can support us, is to just follow, subscribe, whatever it is, shoot a comment. And that's the best way to help us grow right now. And that's what we're trying to focus on, is growing and getting the ability to do more fun and bigger things so that we can rant about rant about anime more. And I want to do more fun stuff,
Two things. I mean, one thing we have mentioned multiple times, that we want to get guests, and we are. It's scheduling. That's the issue right now. It's just, that's it. We have people lined up. But the thing is, we could get someone on tomorrow. But the problem is, me and Will both agreed that we wanted one specific person on here, and then we have other people lined up too. That's going to take a lot of time. We both agreed this person should be first, and we're standing by that. So of course, we're not gonna limit ourselves to that. But at the same time, too, also for me, I feel like, because y'all don't realize too, a lot of times before we start the podcast, me and Will we'll sit there and just talk for about 20 minutes, and then sometimes even after the podcast, we're just I wonder if we should just like start hitting record more and just like doing that too, because I want people like maybe they want to know about us, maybe they want to know. Like,
that's we talk about anime for the first half hour of this one.
Dude, I'm sorry.
I'm not sorry.
Will wouldn't talk about so much My Hero, but it's tangents, dude. It really does. No, I'm really excited to see what happens with My Hero. I wanted it to do well. Again, like same thing with live action, but I kind of going back to what you said about, and lastly talking about the points or the ratings. I really do hope that people do go into this with the right mind, take it as a whole, and don't put like My Hero. Oh, you had great animation for the most part, because I heard a lot of people arguing about, was it Bakugo's fight versus like Deku's fight. A lot of complaints about that.
I thought they both looked great.
People said like you had like Bakugo's being so fluid and great action fights, visuals, all that stuff, and then Deku's just now like it's like here you go. That's what I heard. But
I mean, we could get into that.
I'll believe when I see that. I'll believe when I see it. But please take it as a whole. Because like I said, the same thing with Togepi's Original Sin or Togepi's Original Sin. That one right there, very good anime. Do be warned if you watch it. That one I took it as a whole, and I do 100% agree it is a 9 out of 10. Now, do I believe every single episode is a 9 out of 10? I don't know. I just loved it as a whole. So I just want you to rate before you go into rating. And I know we can go off of every single episode. Before we do it, just take it as a whole and let us know what you think about it. Because for me, I think this would be. I think this has the stuff, the right grit to make My Hero Academia a legendary anime. It already is for Will. I'm just saying as a whole. This last season, the way I believe it's going to go could make this like in the Hall of Fame of anime. Yeah. So
I agree. I think it's going to be an anime that I think that depending on if they end it, as long as they end it the way Horikoshi wrote it, it's going to be great.
Yes.
But it'll be the next anime that people are talking about and still watching
years to come.
In 20 years, right?
I can't wait to rewatch it. I'm gonna be happy. Yeah.
I may have rewatched it 4 times already. Every time the
Wow, Will, you really do love it, dude.
So yes, I do. Ever since season 5. So when season 5 came out, starting with season 5, every time a new season came out, I rewatched it in preparation for the new season. So I watched seasons 1 through 4 as they came out. And then when season 5 was coming out, I watched it again. So that's twice. And then season 6 was coming out, I watched it again 3 times. Season 7 was coming out, I watched it again 4 times. And before season 8 came out, I watched it again.
I mean, that really just says a lot about how much you like this anime. 165 episodes apparently it has.
I feel like that's a good that's a good amount. It's not so long that it's intimidating, but it's not
So like,
so short that you feel like not a lot can happen. Like Attack on Titan was only like 90 something episodes,
so
and it
you've
was
done
super impactful.
13 episodes times, let's say 4. You've done 26 episodes times
Watched it
3.
a
You've
lot.
done 25 episodes times 2. You've done 25 episodes times 1, or 1 or 2 potentially, plus let's say 25, 25, 21, and then was it gonna be 11 or 13 out of this? So I want to do the math. That's a lot of freaking anime,
You also
dude.
have to understand,
You could have been watching One Piece.
after my first, well, you have to understand, after my first watch, like I'm like,
Mhm.
it's like on and I'm doing something else.
Okay.
So like it's on in English.
You weren't
and I'm
tapped in.
Yeah, so I might be
Mhm.
I might be like, locked in at some points,
Mhm.
but it's on, and I am watching One Piece with my sons. Actually, we're almost through
Yeah.
Skypiea, so we're about
Yeah.
200
Yeah.
episodes in.
That's good,
But
man. That's good. I'm
speaking of
glad
my
you enjoy
sons,
that.
my kids are home, so I gotta go help with that. This was great. Sorry we were gone a week, guys, but comment, share, all that stuff. We appreciate you guys.
Sick.
We'll be back next week, and we should be feeling a lot better, right?
Mhm.
Hopefully, yes.
Oh yeah. If we're not, good Lord, help us.
Peace out, everybody.
Bye.